Hi, today I'm going to be showing you how to use the Schedules module. So inside of the Schedules module, we can put in our routine-based schedules for each week. And so what we can do, let's go ahead and preview this. So I'm going to preview this using the link wizard, and we're going to go to the Schedules module. We're going to click Next, and we're going to say All Items in Category of Group Fitness. So this is going to bring up our group fitness schedule. Alright, and so this is what we would see here. We would see, okay, we have Monday, Tuesday, and all the classes associated with those. We can see who's teaching them, the location, the time slot, and then we can even see a little description here. Alright, and so inside of this, we can edit each one of these individually by clicking the Edit button. And so this is going to be editing the yoga class that I clicked on. And then from here we can give it a description, change the name, change the category, and then change the day of the week to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and so on. And then we can also change the start time and end time, such as 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. And then lastly down here you can see you can change the instructor and the location. One thing important to note here is that this category is using the category of group fitness. A lot of the time the categories are going to be the different classes that you are running, or the different groups of classes. So group fitness would be a logical category to make, because you would have a group of classes all revolving around group fitness. But you might also have another one for aquatics. So, and maybe for bigger YMCAs that have different branches, you would have, let's say, East Branch Group Fitness and West Branch Group Fitness. So that way you can change those a little bit. Alright, so as you can see in here, there's many different classes for each week, and this would be very time consuming to go in and add all these individual items to this list manually by clicking Add a New Item and then filling out the appropriate information, and doing that for each one of those. There's 37 items in here for just this one class. You can see how that would be kind of time consuming. So one thing you can do to speed up that process is we have a template that you're free to use. All you would need to do is ask for it. Okay? So from here we can look at this Schedules module CSV template that we can provide to you. If you want this, just ask us and we can give you a copy of this. Alright, so from here, all this is a Google Sheet, and we have in here each of the individual areas that are going to be you would fill out inside of the back office, such as day of the week, category, name. You can see that all this information lines up with what you saw in Freedom previously. So for example, we have this day of the week column, and you can see that these all have these drop downs that you can click on. You can say, okay, I want Tuesday or Wednesday. And so this isn't only just a nice time saver instead of having to type it out every time. It also does some important things in terms of changing the Freedom format portion of this. It puts a 1 dash or a 2 dash in front of Tuesday or Wednesday. You can see how it kind of adjusts that formatting. And so it's important to use these drop downs when you see them there. And same thing with name used for Freedom and name. So if you want to change this to something like yoga, this is going to change automatically. And basically what this use for Freedom column is doing is it's removing any special characters that you might not need or might cause problems later on. And same thing here, we have this instructor column. So any of the characters that might cause a problem, it's going to just say, it's just going to remove those basically. So if it's not Frank, we would say Tom, and you can see that it automatically pulls in Tom. Alright, and then down here we have empty time slot spacer. If you want to use the empty time slot spacer, you click the drop down and you just click 1, and that would automatically say, okay, this one's going to have the empty time slot spacer. And then down here is visible, so if you want this visible or not. So, and this gives you a little warning, and it says you're changing a part of the sheet that shouldn't be changed accidentally. Do you want to edit anyway? And you say okay, and so then you can say no in that way. That way it actually gives you a warning. So if you want to change it back to yes, you can definitely do that, and it just gives you that pop-up. And basically all that's saying is that if you change those to no, you won't actually be able to see them as part of your schedule. So most of the time you'll have this to yes unless there's special circumstances. Alright, so that's going to be how you do this. And what you can do from here is you can actually download a CSV or a comma separated value sheet. So we'll click download, okay? And so from here we have this CSV now, and I have this on my desktop. And now what we can do is we can say, okay, we want to delete all of these items in here, or even, let's say this is group exercise. We have a category for group exercise, so let's actually copy this group exercise category. We'll go into categories, and we'll add that new category for group exercise. Alright, now we want to import this into the schedules module. So we'll click on the database tab. This is going to allow us to import this sheet that we just downloaded. So now we can specify our sheet and click upload, and this brings up this table, and this will allow you to match up those columns of information inside of that sheet with the fields inside of Freedom. So for example, if you want day of the week, notice how this says day of the week, but we also have down here day of the week Freedom format. You're going to want to use any of the columns that would say Freedom format instead of the ones that don't. So for example, day of the week, we say skip this field because we have this special column for day of the week Freedom format. So we'll click on day of the week, and then same thing here, we go category, but category doesn't have a use for Freedom category, so we can just match category to category. Okay, name, again this one has a use for Freedom label, so we'll skip the regular name, and this other name that says use for Freedom, we'll go ahead and specify that we want to match this to the name field. And so we can kind of see how this pattern kind of emerges, and so we can say start time to start time, end time to end time, instructor main contact to instructor main contact. And so actually, so right here, this one also has a use for Freedom. So this one we're actually going to want to use the skip this field. And then the one below it that says use for Freedom, that's the one we will specify. Okay. So location to location, description to description, empty time slot spacer to empty time slot spacer. Visible goes to visible on site, and then we've already set day of the week. Then a couple things to note down here. We have this option for save configuration for next time, and so what this is going to allow us to do is we can actually save these settings that we've chosen, and so that way next time we upload a new schedule, we don't have to go through this. It's automatically going to save these settings. So if you want, you can choose to save this. For me, I'm actually going to uncheck this, and then this one right here says first records in file contains row headers. So as you know, inside of our spreadsheet we have these row headers, day of the week, category name, and so on, and so we need to make sure to check that. Lastly, there's this option for delete all existing items from the module before uploading file, and so that's just going to basically completely empty the module of all the content before we upload. And so in this case we don't want to do that. So we are going to go ahead and click upload or import, and this tells us that it's imported the data. We can jump back to the schedules module, and so now we have the group fitness category, but we also have a group exercise category. And so now we can even link to this group exercise category. And we'll do this by going to all items in category and then choosing group exercise, and then we'll click go. Alright, and that's it. Now we have this new group exercise schedule. And that concludes our training for the schedules module. Thank you.